Welcome to the Instagram Stories Weekend Edition. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. The biggest news of the day continues to be the TikTok potential ban. Let's just give this a little bit of context in case you are living in some kind of bubble and have not heard anything about this situation. This week, on Wednesday, April 24th, President Joe Biden signed a bill that would ban TikTok if its Chinese parent company, ByteDance, fails to sell the app within 1 year. Understanding that 1 year timeline, TikTok isn't going to vanish immediately, especially because ByteDance has vowed to fight the bill in court. A little bit more context. China is expected to block a sale of TikTok because the Chinese government would need to approve the transfer of the app's algorithms. If ByteDance does sell TikTok, it would likely be without the app's algorithms, which means that even if TikTok is not banned, there's a possibility that the app and the experience would be very different from what we've been accustomed to using. So this begs the question, how likely is it that ByteDance would sell TikTok? The Wall Street Journal reports that ByteDance says it will not sell TikTok in the United States. ByteDance said that reports that it is exploring selling TikTok, quote, are untrue, end quote. How this is going to all shake out remains to be seen, but if you did not hear the episode of this show that I recorded on Wednesday, I had a long audio clip of CEO of TikTok, Shou Chew, explaining the ban, what it means, how TikTok plans to address it, and so forth, so go back and listen to that clip. In reporting this story, I have tried to stay as neutral as possible and just report the facts. One more fact that I want to report on, which is very confusing to me, is that Joe Biden has a TikTok account. It's at Biden HQ. And this account, obviously it's not run by Joe Biden himself, but someone on his team continues to post content, which creates a very confusing message. The most recent post that I see as of recording this episode is from 16 hours ago. I do not understand why a leader would sign a bill banning an app in the United States but then have his team continue to post on that app. This is something I just can't seem to wrap my mind around. The question you may be thinking about next is, what should I do in terms of social media strategy? Well, since TikTok is not going to go away tomorrow or next week or even next month, there's definitely going to be quite an amount of time before this potentially happens. I would still suggest exploring other social media platforms. The content that you create on TikTok can instantly be posted to Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, Snapchat Spotlight, and plenty of other places. I recommend looking at a tool like repurpose.io to ensure that you post that content that you make everywhere. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have an update on Threads and, surprisingly, a little bit of an update on Vine. Do you remember Vine from back in the day? Stick around.
Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/calm.
Oh, hey, welcome back. Do you remember Vine? Vine was a short-form video sharing app way back starting in 2012, and it was shut down eventually in 2017. Vine was interesting because it was all about 6-second videos and what kind of story or entertainment or comedy you could do within those 6 seconds. A lot of the people that we follow today on social media really blew up on Vine, and as a result of Vine shutting down, transitioned to other platforms. One of the challenges on Vine was that there really weren't any monetization options for creators, and they weren't really interested in building those out. Before it shut down, Vine was purchased by Twitter, which bought it for a reported $30 million. The reason I'm talking about Vine is that the owner of Twitter, also known as X, Elon Musk, recently tweeted, "Bring back Vine," with a question mark. This is a very interesting idea to improve Twitter's user numbers. Elon Musk posted this tweet as part of a poll, asking if users want Vine to return. The overwhelming majority, 70%, voted yes, that they would want Vine to come back. In one respect, I think it may be too late for Vine to come back. I think we've missed that window of 6-second videos. But then again, nostalgia is a very powerful feeling, and all the long form content that we work so hard to make could be maybe way more interesting if it was forced into 6-second increments. Interested to see what happens with this idea, and I will, of course. In other news, Adam Mosseri, head of Threads and also Instagram, posted on Threads, "Today on Threads, we're expanding hidden words, which were until now only applied to replies, so you can filter out unwanted content from feeds, search, profiles, and post replies on Threads. We're also testing ways to select who can quote you and the ability to mute notifications on your posts. I hope that these features give you more control over your experience on Threads and help keep it a place for positive conversation. Let me know what you think, especially if you're in the tests." Then he included a screenshot explaining how it works. Hidden words. These hidden words also apply to comments that you receive on Instagram. And then it says custom words. You won't see posts in feed containing these words, phrases, or emojis. These posts will be covered in search unless you choose to see them. And you have the option to turn those on or off, and you can manage the custom words and phrases. So, for instance, if there's a specific word that you see in conversation that is very offensive to you, you can turn it off, so this way you will never see conversations or replies with those words. There's a separate section on this settings screen for unwanted replies. Replies that may be offensive, misleading, or spam will be moved to a covered section that anyone can see, and you have the option to turn that off and on. Now, just a little bit of context about custom hidden words. If you're not familiar with this before, the Instagram team added this feature way back in the day because of Taylor Swift. I'm such a Taylor Swift fan. She was getting so many snake emojis on her posts that she asked for the ability to turn those off so that people couldn't create those comments and she would see them. So they added hidden words so that this way all of those comments would not be seen by Taylor Swift. Always love a good Taylor Swift story. Here's the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, explaining hidden words and how it works on Threads.
So on Instagram, you can use hidden words to block comments with specific words that you pick, as well as messages with specific words you pick. What we're now starting to do on Threads is where you can use it to block replies to your posts with specific words, is we're also allowing you to use it to customize your feed itself. So if you want to just pop content out of your feed that has specific words to help shape the experience more into something that you're excited about using, you can try that out. So check it out. Let me know what you think.
Okay, that is going to do it for today's episode. Hopefully you're enjoying this content as I try to give as little of my opinions on this TikTok ban as I humanly can, while still just providing you with the facts. And now, the rap song.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager but do not have a bachelor's degree, but actually that's factually a fraction of me. And other fractions posting content irregular and irrationally still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, they don't care who I am. Who? That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course of book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency, but I got a lot of spam. Just putting in the work without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish.
Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Continental tires. Go to TireRack.com to see their Continental test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.